So let's take a look at the currency tab in the PeachPay settings. So under the currency tab, we have our currency switcher. So let's go ahead and enable that. And we'll just run through the list. So you can choose the currency based on the customer's billing country or the customer's geolocation. Next up, we have a fill table with all currencies, which I'll demonstrate later. We have frequency of auto update, which is the frequency of updating the conversion rate. The default is every 15 minutes, and I suggest you just keep it on the default because longer can result in inaccurate conversion rates. Next up, we have custom intervals, which we'll also touch on later, and add currency conversion fees. And what that does, it adds a fee for Stripe and PayPal and passes it on to your customer instead of you having to pay it yourself. At the bottom, we have add new currency, remove all currencies. Remove all currencies is self-explanatory. We'll go ahead and add a new currency just so we can demonstrate the currency table. So right here on the very left-hand side under currency, you can select a currency from the list. We're going to go ahead and select Euro. After that, we have auto update, which means it will auto update the currency rate. We'll go ahead and save our changes real quick. I suggest leaving this on so that the conversion rate can auto update and keep itself basically updated. Next up, we have the conversion rate, which you can see right here is 0.99175 for euros to dollars. We have a fee section that you can add. So you can add either a flat amount or a percentage. Let's go ahead and add 10%. You can also specify a reason. So I'll just put just as a test. Next up, we have decimals. So this works in conjunction with rounding. So 2 decimal places are used, so we just take 0.99 in the case of the euro. And for rounding, we have several options. We have up, down, nearest, and none. By default, up is usually chosen. If you choose down, it'll round down, nearest, it'll round to the nearest decimal, and none will do no rounding. So these conversion rate intervals right here is updating every 15 minutes, but let's say we don't want the euro to update every 15 minutes. Let's say we want it to go 30 minutes. Then we can enable custom intervals, and that adds a section to the table. Right here, we have no custom interval, which means that it'll use the auto update every 15 minutes. If we go ahead and change it to 30, now the euro on its own will update every 30 minutes instead of listening to this auto update. So we'll just select no custom interval because usually that's the easiest. I suggest kind of leaving this off unless you really need it. It's not really necessary if you're running a typical store. Lastly, you can restrict the countries the currency can be used in. So right now the euro can only be used in the United States. If you go ahead and get rid of that, it says allowed everywhere. We'll just change it back to United States. We'll go ahead and save our changes. And let's see what this looks like to our customers in the PeachPay checkout window. Go ahead and reload the page to apply our changes. Click Express Checkout. We're going to have to fill in some fields just to get to the final page where you pay. So we'll go ahead, go to shipping, go and continue. And as you can see here under this field, this is currency. We can select between euro and dollar. If we select euro, that fee we added in for 10% is there. Along with the conversion of the value, you can see it's no longer $150 and we have 164 euros as the total. If we change it back to United States dollar, the currencies go back and the fee is gone because we have no fee associated with our base currency. One thing to keep in mind is that if you're using any other plugins with a currency switcher, there will be interference and there will probably be plugin errors. So we suggest just only using the PeachPay currency switcher.